So awesome. Good morning and probably good afternoon, depending upon the time zone you have joined from. This is the second creative morning session we are doing in 2020. The last session was done in February, and it feels like it was decades ago. This is the first virtual workshop we are doing. So people who have joined it for the first time, the Creative Mornings is the world's largest creative community. Its format used to be a physical meeting wherein people would come together in the morning. There would be workshop, there would be talks from people who have a story to tell, who have experience to share and learn from. Uh, I'm personally very fortunate that I had a chance to meet and speak with wonderful people who had a perspective towards things, towards life. It has enriched my knowledge. It has helped me grow as a person. Now, when we decided to bring back creative morning, I was not sure what is should be the first topic. Everyone is talking about mental health and whatnot, which is really very important. But I wanted to think beyond it as well. What it means, how we need to be prepared for the future. That's where I personally know Shagun. He's my colleague in my day job, and Divya is also on a mission which she will talk about. I felt what they are doing is so much relevant and is going to be so much required. It immediately struck me that this is the best workshop to go for. So thank you, Shagun, and thank you, Divya, for taking the time out to do this workshop for us. I also have Saikat and Samarth who are the who we are the small team for Creative Morning and all the different posts that you saw on different platform. It is us kind of doing this stuff in the background. So thank you, Saikat. Thank you, Samarth for helping out on this front. With that, I will hand it over to Divya and Shagun. By the way, there is a Facebook page for Creative Morning Gurugram. Go to Facebook, search for Creative Morning Gurugram page. It's an interesting page. We will start posting a lot of content, not only relevant to this session, but in general around creativity. You will find the content really very helpful. So go ahead and like that page so that you can stay connected with the community. Thank you so much, and over to you, Shagun and Divya.
Sure, thanks, Alok. So maybe we'll start with our introduction first, and then of course we'll just move to the deck. And thank you for already like introducing it a bit, Alok. So hi all, I'm Shagun Chaudhary. I'm part of Publicis Sapient. I'm leading the digital production and marketing operations team there. And right now, as part of my organization, of course, that's a separate thing. Like Alok mentioned, we are on a mission, on a global mission where we're trying to connect 6 million people and support them as part of LinkedIn, especially around branding experience and how to really have a personal brand on such. And I'm supporting Divya and the overall community to make sure that we are training people how to build a brand and effectively like how they can have an impactful social presence here. So we're going to cover our experience and of course talk about it. So I'll pass it to Divya to first introduce her, and then of course we take it forward from there.
All right. Thank you so much, Shagun, and thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I've seen some couple of people who know me personally, also whom I have spoken to through LinkedIn. So today we are going to talk about personal brand, how creative people can actually create their own personal brand. We'll also talk about content marketing because we are all in the game of creating content knowingly or unknowingly. We'll talk about what content in simple, clear definition is, and how we are all content marketeers in our own way, and how does it help to build the personal brand. However, before we do that, just a quick introduction. I'm a CEO of an award-winning content marketing company here in India, and I'm on a mission to train 6 million people worldwide on how to effectively use LinkedIn to grow their personal branding as well as create a content marketing repository for them so that they can go on to grab those opportunities that LinkedIn is offering them. So today we are going to talk a lot on social media, particularly using LinkedIn for creative people to build their personal brand. On to you, Shagun.
Great. And as Divya mentioned, we are going to make it as interactive as we can. So I
Yeah.
believe the first one we had was what you do and where you from. So we can see
Yeah.
people are already talking about it. And since we've already utilized that time in the past, so we'll just move to the next one here. And we'll start with a little interactivity here, and we would like people to just identify the jumbled words here. So maybe like just over to you, just try to identify the word, put it in the chat. And then of course, there's a reason behind why we're talking about these jumbled words, and we'll just talk about it once you're able to identify those specific words. So
Yeah.
try just looking through it, just maybe putting it in the chat, or if you want to just talk about it, of course, feel free to do that. So we'll give a minute,
Yeah.
we'll pause here and then just
Yeah.
move to the next one.
And Shagun, if you could let us know, are these words related to today's training terminology that we are going to use? Or is
Yeah,
it just the simple words or
no,
general
so
words?
this is more around how, which will help us as part of our branding, as well as
Mhm.
what are those things that we need to do as part of our own personal brand and what brings us that stuff. So they have a meaning associated with it. So once people are able to identify, we'll maybe like try to link a story with it and then of course
Yeah.
take it forward. And from
Yeah.
story, of course, I like to share my own stories also. So maybe I can put in those as well as part of this
Yeah.
activity here.
Yeah, yeah. So Sudipta is already sharing. Brand is written. Shivani has written content, and Sudipta das working definitely. And Arj Mohan has written ego plus work plus skin plus nil plus net.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. So Chinder is writing networking. So Shagun, you
Wow.
might not have thought of so many
Yeah.
words together in that.
So people are smart enough, I would say. They have even added more words that we could think of. But yes,
I swear, I swear. Shivam is writing startup. Perfectly fine, Shivani. Consistency. That's great. And Alok is simply smiling. Yeah. So on to you, Shagun.
okay. So considering we want to just make it interactive and then of course not make it monotonous also that people feel what are we talking about. So we'll move to what we believe as part of this session we're trying to cover. So
Yeah.
you can see the bold word which talks about consistency. So
Yeah.
consistency is one thing I believe we all need to put in whatever activity we do, not just for personal brand. However, for anything and everything, there needs to be a consistent pattern which help us to make up a personal brand or anything that we are up to. Then we are talking about LinkedIn. So as Divya mentioned, we are especially going to cover in majority about LinkedIn. And then branding as such is the primary factor. I believe people are more interested about my brand or other brand. How do I really build it? We're going to talk about it. Social presence, of course, is the key as part of this activity. And power is more like once I have a powerful brand, then this is where exactly like people know me. So if I talk about Divya, I don't think so she needs much introduction than what I would need today. But yes, if we are consistent and all of us on this mission that we are like, if we go ahead and be having a consistent pattern, we would see that yes, people identify us as really like a powerful brand in the picture there. And what makes us a powerful brand? The content, and that is the key. So content marketing, content is what really matters. So if your content is so you, many people say I write a lot of good content but people don't like my content, people don't comment, and a lot of people ask me that very simple question, and I believe it is more like either we have not identified our correct target audience, that could be one thing, or we feel that yes, this content is relevant for me, however people are not able to make it correlatable there. And that is where we need to identify what is that key content that people are looking for. Either our audience is not what we are looking for, or the second part is our content is not that marketing enough. And we'll be covering in details about this one just in a few more next upcoming up slides. Then leveraging is networking together is what we want to highlight. So many times people say I added my colleague, I added my friend, but are they also trying to network with you that you're trying to add them, or are they really using the leveraging the LinkedIn power in terms of that you post something to, are they even commenting on it, are they interacting with you onto it? Networking is not about identifying same minded people, it's about identifying diversity. I would better use the word here, and I think that's a very powerful word here in itself, that we all understand that if it's a diverse network, you would get to have different opinions. And different opinion doesn't mean that somebody is trying to put us down or put us up. It's more about we are going to grow because we're going to see different things, we're going to post different things, and people are going to benefit out of it. And that is where the whole culture about networking, leveraging, content marketing, powerful brand, and on the social network with the consistent behavior, we make it a full package here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I'll give a pause.
Yeah.
Any comments, questions before we move to the next one? Because we'll now be asking a few questions back to you onto like your pattern, your trend on the social platform, what are you up to for, and then cover the specifications here around like what exactly is our intent here. Okay.
Yeah, Shivani.
Shagun, I completely agree to you, and I cross my heart on consistency. I think consistency is the key thing to keep going, and then kind of rediscovering yourself and your content as well.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for pitching it, Avni. So pretty much you said it right. If you are not consistent and people are even trying to follow you, if you are doing it one day and next day you are gone and third day you are back, people would be like, whether I'm expecting something. So if I talk about Nathan Esri or any of these great influencers, you would see they have a pattern. Maybe they post once a week, but they are regular on that day, on that time. People would be looking forward for it. They would go on their profile and say, oh my God, did I miss Nathan's post today? Or did I miss Harjeet Khanduja's post today? So there are some people who have a set pattern, and we are all having one primary thing that we need to be making sure is consistency. And as I said, it's not just for personal branding across the board. Even if we are doing something as an official task, we are expected to be consistent. Otherwise, we would have to be like discuss in a separate room what we are doing here. So this is like your personal brand. So you need to be conscious. You need to be telling yourself that, yes, I have to be consistent to be making myself a powerful brand here. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we'll go with a poll now. What are you on social media platform for? And of course, I would like people to just comment. So we'll just open a few polls, and I would say we'll just go one by one here. So the poll is on. We have different set of questions. What are you on social media platform for? Then we have what are you on Facebook for? And we have a couple of options. So we are asking people to just mention their response for different social platforms so that we can see what is the trend and what are people doing on social media. Are you even on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn?
Yeah.
And then
so
of course,
does it mean that the first question is very generic in nature, just to know, and the second, third, and so on are specific, no?
Exactly. So the first question is pretty much around what are we doing on social media platform for, and specifically, I believe many of the people say I'm here for job, which of course is not the only thing that we need to be on social media for. Some people say I want to just connect to colleagues and friends and whatnot. And then of course, what are we using the relevant platform for, to just understand what are people power that they are using these particular platform for. And then of course, we're going to cover in details around what exactly is the true power and what we can do. So versus commenting, I would say people could just vote on these particular questions that you may see. That would be helpful for us to see. And again, I have opened up in front of you so that you can see a trend. It's not something that we are building as we speak. It's a live session. All of you are like going ahead and selecting as part of this activity what we are talking about. And you can see things varying. So of course, don't get relevant. You can say don't just get imbibed of course what is for the person selecting. I need to select that. Just go open about your own experience and just select the relevant options. And I believe we'll just scroll down a bit to just see people are talking about each of the questions. And it's fine to say even I'm not on Pinterest or I'm not on LinkedIn, because the intent is just to understand the true picture here.
Shargun, Alok is saying that he's not able to see the quiz. If it is so, please write in the chat section so we know how many people are not able to see the quiz. All right, I think it's just with Alok. Maybe Alok, because you are the panelist with us, so you might not be able to vote. You might be able to see, but not be able to vote.
Yep. Okay, so we are seeing 11 questions right now, and 84 people have voted. So we'll just wait for 30 more seconds.
And I believe it is all right. I think most of us have voted. 2 or 3 of us are left amongst the 100% because we are the panelists, no?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
Yes.
Okay. So if we see the trend, I think we can just quickly talk about it and then move to the next slide.
So if you could end
one
poll.
of them is like,
end poll, share the results. Here it is. So quickly, Shagun, if you permit me, I would love to share some results with them. Is that okay?
Yep.
Yeah. So what are you on
Go ahead
social
with it.
media for? 45% say personal brand. That's a great thing, that personal branding awareness is so much. So that means you're in the right session today. What are you on Facebook for? Connect with fans and family and on Facebook, but don't use it that often. That trend is now prevalent. Most of us have stopped using Facebook extensively the way we used to do it in 2013-14. What are you on Instagram for? Share pictures, videos, etc. Yeah, because we are all part of a creative community, so it is bound to happen that we would have a special inclination for Instagram. But today when I share with you about the LinkedIn, you will get to know that on LinkedIn every third person is mass affluent. That means every third person is actually earning more than 56 lakh rupees per annum. So it does make sense to create our personal brand on LinkedIn as well, because when you start encashing on your personal brand, if not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe after a few months or years you will need to, then you'll start realizing, yeah, at that point of time LinkedIn was very organic platform. So when we say organic, that means LinkedIn as of now is not charging you for posting or distributing your content to more people. So it does make sense that more people will be likely on Instagram than LinkedIn. However, we are going to talk more on LinkedIn today so that you can find the suitable case for LinkedIn. All right. So on Twitter, engaging with others, and not on Twitter, that's perfectly fine. It's not essential that us all will be on different social media platforms. It does make sense. It's perfectly fine. So on Pinterest, not on Pinterest, 64%. However, I've heard that most of the creative people in the Western world particularly like Pinterest. However, it's perfectly fine. It depends from country to country. What are you on LinkedIn for? So 91% have said to be part of professional network. So we are going to deliberate on it. What does it mean to be part of network? What does it mean to build that network, to build your personal brand? And we'll give you some good case studies from the corporate world itself to be aware of what's happening in the network. Yeah, incidentally, every time we do this poll, and I have been doing these kinds of poll in my previous trainings also initially. So I found that on LinkedIn, people actually want to know what others are doing, what's happening in the corporate world, the corporate sphere. So that's interesting. On to you, Shagun, now.
Okay, so we'll just stop the poll now, and we'll just move to the next slides here so that we can talk about the power of LinkedIn. So this is about the top 5 LinkedIn stats as per the Matter of Marketing, and this is specifically as per the link that I've shared here as part of 2020. And if we talk about this one here, it specifically says 675 million monthly users, which has now reached to almost 700 million users now. This particular stats are as per the websites. However, the other forums are specifically talking around the details there. 57% LinkedIn users are men, 43% are women. 30 million companies are on LinkedIn. Again, this stat is little old as per this. The latest stats that we are seeing on different websites, which are not yet formally published, but it's around 50 million companies are on LinkedIn. The fourth stat is around an ad on LinkedIn can reach 12% of the world population, which in itself is big if we talk about that one. Sponsored email has a 52% open rate on an average. Now, some other interesting facts. Many people say I am on LinkedIn for a job, which surprisingly we did not hear at this point of time. Otherwise, yes, most of the people think that yes, I'm here for a job posting, but that's not the intent. LinkedIn has 15 times more content impressions. And what does content impression mean? It is pretty much about content marketing. There are marketers, like 94% of B2B marketers use LinkedIn for content marketing. 89% of B2B marketers use LinkedIn for lead generation. And just a very favorable fact for us to know that cost per lead on LinkedIn is 28% lower than a Google AdWord. So you can see the power of LinkedIn, where people are driving towards this platform to make it a content rich platform, not only just a job posting or just a networking. It's more about talking about your content, identifying your key leads to get to a level where I can identify my lead, reach out to them and get to them to my platform if I have to. So that's how the intent is. And
yeah, Shagun, just 1 second here. I would like to just say one. So when we say B2B, you might be wondering, Divya, we are creative people. We have nothing to do with B2B. We are not marketeers. But the moment we say content marketing, the whole game changes for each one of us. The moment we become very clear, we become the chief clarity officers of our own life, we start getting to know, okay, this is how we are going to use LinkedIn more effectively. And I'll also share with you some quick case studies once Shagun's session is over, how corporate professionals and creative professionals have nailed it on LinkedIn better than any other social media platform, how they are minting money through LinkedIn, and how they are getting promotions after promotions through LinkedIn. All right, on to you, Shagun.
Sure,
Yeah.
thank you, Divya. So moving to the next one here. So this is about the following social media channels are part of your digital marketing mix. And unsurprisingly, LinkedIn is a leading social media channel for B2B marketers, with Twitter trailing at a closed second. So you can see that there's a trend. 92% of marketers are using LinkedIn effectively for marketing their content. And as Divya mentioned, like we're going to cover the case studies in a bit, but this is how just to show you the trend, the power of this particular social platform and how it is. So Facebook, yes, is still the ranking number third, but yes, as many people said, they are moving to different platform to identify it, and that doesn't mean that one platform is better than the other. They have their own powers and limitations, but yes, I think it's more like what works for you might not work for someone else. So choose which one is working for you, and then just go ahead and build a brand, or it could even be across the board, build a brand. So now we're going to talk about the content marketing plus the personal branding, because personal branding alone cannot be the case without content marketing, because what will people know you for? You need to have relevant content to entice them, to make sure that they are approaching to you. So talking about content marketing, so Content Marketing Institute defines content marketing as a strategic marketing approach focused on
Yeah.
creating and distributing valuable,
Shagun,
relevant
I
and
will take the
consistent
lead now,
content
Shagun.
to
Let
attract,
me
retain,
talk.
sure,
Let me take the lead for
go ahead,
this.
Divya.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, everyone. So now, when we talk of content marketing, we first have to understand what content is. Forget about this slide as of now. Can you move back to the slide, Shagun? First, let's understand what content is, and I would love to have your opinion as well. So in simplest of the definition, when we say we are all content creators or content marketers, I mean to say that content is a piece of information designed for consumption. I shall repeat it. Content is a piece of information designed for consumption, triggering engagement. That's it. One liner definition, if we can mug up. Content is a piece of information designed for consumption, triggering engagement. What does it mean? Let's say Bahubali movie, right? That movie that was very famous in India is an entertaining piece of information. It gave some information, it gave some storyline based information. It was a piece of information, people consumed it, and that was triggering the engagement from people's side. Like they went on to see, they talked about it, they liked it, they reshared with the other people, they commented on various blog posts related to this movie. So any piece of information that you create, be it entertaining or edutaining, if it is meant for consumption, that means that is content. Now, second important thing for content is it can be in 5 different types. One is video. You can create a video that can be a piece of information, entertaining or edutaining, meant for consumption, triggering engagement. That's video content. Another is audio. So when you speak and it's just in audio format, I don't need to explain more, that's audio content. Then next is written content. So when you write a post on LinkedIn or Facebook, or if you write something, a story on your Instagram, that is a piece of information you're writing for consumption, and you're wanting to have that triggered engagement. That becomes written content. Now, for especially the creative people, it becomes all the more important that they use graph or image form of content. So if you are posting some image and that's meant for consumption, that's your content. It's as simple as that. Once we're very clear about the simplistic definition of content, we become very clear about the next steps as well. So if you have any questions so far, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to quickly move to content marketing after this.
Yeah,
All right.
and Divya, like you mentioned about this graphs, I believe this community who was on this call is one of the best people to design those graphs and infographics, which are
Yeah.
really powerful. And I think people get enticed towards seeing those graphs which give you that data, because it's
Yeah.
all about delivering the data which is a differentiator from the rest, and identifying a
Absolutely.
way to come out with that pattern. I think there's no better person than these people on the call who already
Yeah.
have that experience here.
Yeah, absolutely. And the moment you decide that I'm not going to create information, I'm going to create content from now onwards. So the difference between information and the content is this content must be for consumption, and it must trigger some engagement in the form of maybe comments, discussions, forums, or and blah, 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 right? So now there are 5 styles of content. We spoke about 5 types of content. There are 5 styles of content. One is original content on social media. Anything that you create originally is your original content. For example, if you want, I can show you some pieces of 2-3 liners, which we'll talk about when we shift to the mode of LinkedIn. So original pieces are when you write 2-3 liner stuff, when you create an original infographic, or when you create anything originally. That's original content. That's very popular, and that needs a lot of time. But then you must be thinking, okay, if consistency is the key and we can make our personal brand using the power of content, then what could be the other option? Then that comes the category of content curation. That's the biggest famous evergreen content people are using to get more followers on any social media. So what is content curation? Content curation is when you take someone else's content, give it due credit, at the same time add your perspective to it and share it with the world. You must have seen on all social media platforms tons of inspirational videos, and on LinkedIn they draw 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 100,000 views, even 5,000 likes, 10,000 likes. So if you are curating content, I'll share with you some case studies when I come to LinkedIn. Tons of people are curating content to first attract followers to them and then do their content marketing or build their brand. There are 2 strategies of building your brand. One is you keep creating original content. Gradually people will get bought to your idea. Oh wow, Shagun is writing interesting content, but it will be a selective set of people. 2 is you target bigger audience by means of inspiring posts or entertaining posts, etc. And you first attract tons of followers to you, and then you gradually move to target audience based content. That okay, now since I've got more than 50,000 followers or 1 lakh followers, now I can start moving to my own specific content as well. I hope I'm making sense of it. If not, please interrupt us in between and ask. All right. So we have understood so far what content is. We have also understood 5 types of content. Now we are on the 5 styles of content. One is content creation. Another is content curation. So content curation attracts a lot of footfalls to your content. Then third thing is content engagement. This is the secret formula. Unfortunately, most creative people are not aware. So when you engage on someone else's post consistently, I don't know whether you have heard about Gary Vaynerchuk or not. So Gary Vaynerchuk is known to be the modern day social media's father today. So he used to say in 2013, he used to go to people's blog for 1.5 years. He had done this. Whoever's blog he used to see, whoever's post he used to see, he just used to add his 50 cents to it. He used to add his perspective, his thought process. And people started following him like mads. Let's say today you have written an article, or you created some infographic. So what strategy I will use? I will come on your post, on your timeline. If I found it worthwhile, I found it really inspiring, interesting, I will add my perspective to it. That bingo, Alok, you have created a fabulous infographic, and this represents this. However, my viewpoint is this. So I have tested this tons of times, and whenever I've gone and commented on top industry leaders or influencers post, I myself have attracted 80 likes, 100 likes on my comment. As a result, those people come to my profile to see who Divya Shlokam is. And this way, I build my personal brand again with them. All right. I think here I need to show you some screen quickly. 1 second. So this is what I'm talking about. I thought I should show you straight away. So for example, Harjeet Khanduja, he is one of the top influencers on LinkedIn. So he creates 10 liners short stories, at 280 character short stories. So he uses it for LinkedIn as well as Twitter. This is original content creation. So we are going to go here, see, check what kind of content does he write. All right, all right. So now he's also doing his content marketing to some extent. I'll talk about it later. This is what, do you see? 2200 likes. Jay asked this and Ras said this. Jay asked this, Ras said this. 10-liner story fitting into 280 character, ideally suited for Twitter as well as LinkedIn, and shooting the bird with the same arrow. What is the idiom? You can know yourself. So this is what is called original content creation. Similarly, you can originally create your own graphs, your own infographics, and you'll become famous. So 1,13,000 people are following him on LinkedIn. It is a humongous figure on LinkedIn. Humongous figure, and it's nothing on YouTube, but it's humongous figure on LinkedIn. This is what is called original content creation. Now I'm going to share with you some more case studies of content curation also. So this is one of the real estate builders. Can you believe it? Real estate builders on LinkedIn. What are they doing on LinkedIn? And he has got more than 90,000 people are following him. What he does is he uses the technique of content curation to first attract followers, which I was telling you, and then gradually he'll plan to maybe next year, next to next year onwards, share his real estate programs on LinkedIn. By that time, he'll have 2 lakh followers. Do you see? 365 likes. So he's just written 2-3 liners or 4 liners or 5 liners here. What exactly it is, what's his perspective, and tons of people are also commenting on this. Similarly, this. Now I'm going to show you something surprising. There is also a strategy which is neither content creation nor curation. It's just content projection, right? So this is Shubhangi Salvi. I really like this girl. She's quite creative in her own way. I've spoken to her, and however, she's got 3 lakh people following her on LinkedIn. This is the power of consistency. She literally shows every single day. She must be missing some days, but she literally shows, and all she does is nothing, just plain post of someone else. This is called content projection, not even curation. And 691 likes, then sometimes she shares the videos. So today, tell me now, if she is HR executive, today she wants to start her own HR recruitment firm. Do you think she needs to follow up with the people, sir, can you come? There are tons of people, and I've also heard there are CEOs following her posts just for quick inspiration dose. So now she's already created a kind of following, wherein if she starts some business, or if she declares something, or gives information, then she already has a following with her. She already has a target audience ready with her, or maybe major audience. Does it make sense? If you still have some question, query, or viewpoint, please share. We'll be glad to engage. Shall we proceed ahead?
Yeah, and there's one question that we've not answered yet. That is around consistency. I think they mentioned that they got the point. What about timing the content?
Yeah, interesting. So this is time and again being asked from me that, how about timing? So I personally have seen in last 1.5 years journey that you first focus on curating content, because every single day creating so much of content will be a big hurdle for you. So first initially go by curating this content. LinkedIn is still okay. Build little bit of your following, create that network, and then you test yourself. Before COVID happened, people used to say morning and evening times are best. 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. till the time people reach office, on their ways, they look at the LinkedIn. Then in the evening, they say that post 6 o'clock up till 9 o'clock, there's a rush on LinkedIn. Then they used to say in India, weekends are the best days, because most of the people are searching jobs, or at least updating their LinkedIn profiles. So they are in all likelihood likely to see your post, right? Whereas in the Western countries, weekends are a big no-no for LinkedIn posting, right? So it all depends from region to region, from time to time. However, during and post-COVID, I've found 24 hours, LinkedIn is a good thing. And I've tested again and again. Just last night at about 9 o'clock, I posted something. I got 80 likes, 70 likes. And sometimes when I post something at 7 o'clock in the morning, thinking that, yeah, pre-COVID times are still relevant, I get just 20 likes. So it is a lot to do with your experiments. You have to figure out when your target audience is online. Yeah,
exactly. I think target audience is the key there, like you rightly mentioned, because I will share the same experience like you said. So pre-COVID, of course, when I used to commute to the office, that was the time I used to post something and you would just see a drastic liking and commenting. However, if I post something right now at 7:30, I would be like, people are sleeping, looks like to be the case right now. So it's very different. So basis your target audience, you need to try and then identify, okay, this is the time when people are reacting. Is it 7 o'clock? Is it 9 o'clock? Or what exactly is the timing?
Yeah.
And of course, there are some people who are like blessed, I would say, like Mr. Nathan SV. The timing they post, target audience is awake at that time for them.
I swear. So, for example, Nathan SV's case, Shagun has just now shared. So he's a chief talent officer, CXO category. So he knows, similarly, Prabhi Jha knows, these guys know that most of our category people will be awake by 7 o'clock in the morning. So it doesn't really matter for them. He just write 2 or 3 liners that fits into the category of Twitter as well. So why am I showing you all these influencers post? Because you can have your amount of idea whether should I go by Shubhangi Salvi's way or should I go by Kamaldeep's way or Nathan SV or Rajiv Khanduja, whose way. And by the way, just if you want to explore how to do experimentation, then you're most welcome to visit my profile every day and see I do tremendous amount of experimentations. I do not stick to one particular time frame. I keep doing a lot of experimentation on my timeline. So with respect to the profile makeover, with respect to the posting, you can always benchmark with mine and then you can see what's happening latest. All right. So this is what I wanted to show you, that we were still in content. Content is like content curation, content creation, content projection, content engagement. So whenever I have engaged on his post, writing my perspective, tons of people, even the senior level people in our industry have gone back to see my profile. How do you see whether people are coming back to your profile and seeing your profile or not? You see it here in the dashboard. This is your, picture, status quo. So 26,900 people in last 3 months, and you see 80% is still less. So I used to have even more views. So 26,000 people have visited. So if you are a paid member of LinkedIn, LinkedIn will give you all these details. Otherwise, it will show you just 5. From this, now, how does it help the build our personal brand? Because once they have come on our timeline, and once if they like my post, or once they interact with me, then the doors are open for further networking and for further content marketing with them. So this is why it is all the very important that you need to know who's looking at your profile. Now, anytime I can always go back to Jacob, I can go back to Miller and then connect back with them that thank you, Miller, for visiting my profile. Let's have a conversation going, right? And you never know, in his country, I give a session, in my country, he comes and helps people out there. All right, so let's proceed ahead. Now we have understood that content is the piece of information created for consumption, triggering engagement. As simple as that. We are all content creators by default. Now we have also understood 5 types of content, video, blah, 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 and all that. We have understood content creation, content curation, content projection, and then content engagement when we actually type our perspective in someone else's post. And then finally is content consumption. So they say, like big people used to say, you tell me your company, kiski sangat karte aur main bata dunga next 5 years belong to what for you. So now we are all doing the sangat or the company of the content. So it depends what content are you looking at day in, day out, and you will start evolving according to that. Do you agree with me? If yes, please write in chat section. Why, right? Yeah. All right. So Rehana has asked, should we use so many tags for reach, or 3 tags are enough? You see, on LinkedIn, 3 tags are more than enough. Let me also tell you, LinkedIn is becoming all the more strict day by day. If 5 people report about you to LinkedIn that this person is spamming, this person is doesn't seem to be realistic, ethical, LinkedIn can even block you. I have seen literally the cases. There was one LinkedIn influencer, and he was the startup guy, startup venture capitalist, and he used to write a lot of criticism or maybe express his views negatively towards a particular organization in the e-learning industry. And tons of people complained to LinkedIn that he is not doing this good, and LinkedIn completely blocked him from being present on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, unlike social media platform, is evolving, is exclusively, and it can shoot up your personal branding. That's the reason most B2B companies or most companies, 91% figure did you find? They know that LinkedIn is people of classes rather than masses. And it will, in all likelihood, will remain people of classes, right? Or platform of classes. All right, so let's proceed ahead. Let's get to understand. Now we have understood completely what content is. What I propose is, Shagun, now you share that presentation, and I would like to tell them what content marketing is and why do we need to bother about content marketing to build our personal brand. So Alok is asking how to decide tags. Meanwhile, Shagun, I think, is frozen. Yeah. So Shagun will share his presentation. So how to decide about tags? You see, you search Google for the relevant tags, and you must also create your own tag. For example, I was also experimenting. Sometimes I wrote Divya, ask Divya's views, Divya insights. You have to keep doing little experimentation and then see. For example, Prabir Jha, one of the influencer, writes Prabir insights, right? So, for example, another influencer writes, RK first principles. So you have to devise your own tag so that you become popular, number one. And number two, you can also find top performing tags in Google. Number three, you can also think that what your content is. If it is about infographics, if it is about economy, if it is about creativity, then you simply type creativity. At one point of time, tagging was important. LinkedIn used to show that you are trending in that tag, but LinkedIn is also evolving. Now things are changing. So 3 tags are important. Preferably create one particular tag. I think, Shagun, you have also created your own tag. What is that?
Yeah, this year I have changed my tag to Shagun 2020, and that is the first tag I have created for myself. Initially, I thought put a century there, but then I just created to Shagun 2020 there. But yeah.
All right.
And I think tag is certainly helpful because even end of the day, you can see where all you are commenting and just have your own relevance. And then of course, so people are building their own personal branding tags. Like for Nathan SV, it's Office Truth, and it's a very famous and a powerful tag as such because people do correlate and they tag as such your tag as well in part of it.
Yeah. And if you plan to share your stuff on Twitter as well, so you'll have to choose small tags rather than big, huge tags. Alok, you wanted to say something.
So my question was, I know I have seen Shagun post wherein you have used your own name tag. What is the benefit of it, and when it should be done and not done?
All right, all right. So not done doesn't come in the picture because no one is stopping you to create your own name tag. Your own name tag also represents that on all social media, people will be able to recognize you when they press that particular tag. For example, let me quickly show you about Nathan SV, right? So Nathan SV, this is how tags in LinkedIn are used. So for example, see all, this is how you go on their post and check what they have written in all activity section. You go. So if you type Office Truths, you will be able to see all his posts. Can you believe it? 3,500 people have started following it. All his posts on this collectively. So you can easily filter wherever he has written Office Truths, all his posts are appearing. Similarly, if I say I write some other tag here, let's say LinkedIn. So anyone who has used the tag LinkedIn, all that posts will start appearing here. That's how tags are to be used on LinkedIn when you create your own, for example, Prabir Jha. So this is how Prabir Jha. Right. So let's go to his post and see how he is using his tags. Tags are a form of your personal branding. So Prabir Insights. He's been using it for, I think, over a year now. So 1,000 people are already following. So whenever Prabir insights come, that means he is giving some insights or sharing some insights. You'll see only his post. So this way it helps to filter. All right. Shall we proceed ahead now? Yeah, Shagun, will you share the presentation?
One more question.
Yeah.
So would you recommend that if a newbie should also have their own name tag, or is it something which you should do after once you have like follower or once you have developed perspective towards certain things?
Yeah. So personal branding, the best part about personal branding is you don't need to be a big brand to start creating your own personal branding. What is tag? Tag is just an identity of yours so that people can identify your post from others when you're using your personal name post tagging, you know. So whether a newbie or anyone else, you should have one particular tag related to you. After several experiments, I figured out that Divya Shlokam is going to be my final tag. It's okay to have just your name as your tag. Perfectly fine. This way people are able to recall your name. And also, let me help you. Let me help you understand. It takes 17 touch points, 17 minimum impressions to 100 impressions to create that brand recall about your personal identity or your personal brand. Let's say if Alok or Saikat are posting something today, they will have to do it at least 17 times before anyone can recall, okay, so this is Alok. That's a different thing. Many people know him. That's a different thing. Many people know us also. But if you want to create an impression onto a stranger or onto a new person whom you do not know, you'll have to appear on their devices in front of them at least 17 times before they can even recall about you. That's where content marketing and personal branding come in place. Yeah, Shagun.
Yeah, I was reading somewhere on the websites, and it was mentioned that I need only 10 seconds on your phone or on your laptop every day just to have my presence, and then I'm done. I only need 10 seconds. That's it.
Yeah. So if you have any other question, please write. If you are finding it interesting, why don't you write interesting for us so that we know that, yeah, we are giving you the value.
Divya Shrabni, I have a question.
Yeah.
So Divya, people on LinkedIn are any which ways following you.
Mm-hmm.
So how does this hashtag makes a difference? Because people who are following you would get your content. So what difference does a hashtag make there?
Yeah, interesting question, Shrabani, and I wanted this question to come up because this is a myth that whoever is following me is able to see my content. LinkedIn doesn't show what to say. LinkedIn, no social media will show your content to all people. If they start showing all your content to all the people who are following you, they'll be out of their business, right? That's why we say organic versus inorganic. Organic means, okay, so 100 people are following you. Out of 100, this social media chooses to show to 20 people, right? That's why it's important to have more number of connections and more number of followers. For example, let me be very practical with you, right? People say, nah, I'm not interested to have a lot of connections. The first principle or the vision of LinkedIn says that it's creating economic opportunities for people. And it gives you 30,000 connections limit in 200 plus territories and countries. Can you believe it? Like I have 300 people, 300 top executives connected from Japan, 200 from Australia. Citibank Australia CEO is one of my connections. You know, so you get tons of opportunities to connect with people worldwide. Now, why am I insisting on this is, let's say if I have 30,000 connections, just in June 30th, on June 30th, I had completed my 30,000 connections. Now, do you see the power? Within 4 months, I have gained 20,000 more followers. That's a game changer on LinkedIn. If you apply a little bit strategies, I will not be able to share all these strategies in this section. We do free section because I'm on a mission to train 6 million people. So we do free sessions every Sunday morning, 9 o'clock. You can enroll for that. You can go on my timeline, check the information. So we do sessions in that. I tell you in detail how to do that. But then if I'm trying to tell you, if you, let's say you have just 1,000 connections, right? Someone has 1,000 connections. If you start posting today, maybe it will have 5,000 reach, 10,000 reach, But if you have 30,000 connections, in all likelihood, LinkedIn will start showing it to little more people, maybe more people and more people gradually. So it does make sense to have as many number of connections as you can. Though LinkedIn's policy says that do not connect with unknown people. My debate or my logic says on social media, who knows whom? Do I know Shrabini you? Unless I get connected to you, only then I'll start exploring and start getting to know about you. So first we have to connect, and then we have the option either to block each other or get rid of each other on social media. So unless we first connect, how will we start knowing each other? So that's the strategy I have adopted. So it does make sense to have more number of connections. The more and wider number of connections you will have worldwide, the wider will be your circle of influence. We are all in the business of influence. We are all influencers. You, me are tiny influencers. Nathan SV, Hajit Kanduja, maybe other guys are mega influencers. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you, Divya, for answering that question. Though, personally, I am not a quantity person. I am a quality
I understand.
person.
Yeah.
So I am not too sure if those,
Yeah.
$30,000 lakh people are live. I mean, I believe in really interacting and, having a conversation rather than just seeing that number flashing on the screen.
Yeah, I appreciate your viewpoint. However, on LinkedIn, to get those nasty non-performing followers is a little difficult thing. On Facebook, you can buy those followers, but on LinkedIn, it becomes little difficult. So you can be ensured at least if you filter 10%, you can say, okay, fine, all those non-performing followers. But on LinkedIn, people are very careful and very choosy whom to follow. They just don't follow people blindly, right? All right. So Ranjit Sharma has said, hello, I have a doubt that why do only some people get the post, and if somebody gets the post once, then come once again tomorrow, that post is not there. Why is that? All right. So on LinkedIn, let me share with you what happens is, like, for example, today, Alok likes one of my posts, right? So LinkedIn algorithm, it's evolving continuously, but what in generic LinkedIn algorithm says that, all right, let me show you. So for example, today I shared this, right? This is the post. So I'll go and I'll see. Let's say Shefali Sangal has liked my post. So what LinkedIn will do is, LinkedIn will see, okay, so Shefali Sangal has liked Divya's post. So perhaps this person likes that person's content. Let me show her a couple of more times Divya's content. If she keeps liking, I will keep showing this on Shefali's timeline, Divya's post. So the moment Shefali stops liking my content, maybe after a month or two, Shefali will stop seeing my content or my post. This is how LinkedIn does. Now, second thing is, if someone has, let's say, commented here. So for example, Siddhika Jain. So Siddhika Jain has commented. Now what LinkedIn will do is, LinkedIn will see, okay, so Siddhika Jain often comments on Divya's post, show her all her posts by default. This is what happens. Now LinkedIn also gives you the status quo in order to check whether your posts are going to your target audience or not. I will come back to that 30,000 connections later, right? So this is what LinkedIn does. Do you see 16 people from TCS have seen my post and then 11 from Microsoft? This is my target audience. This is my target audience, executive directors. I just see out of all those people, how many have actually been executive directors who have seen. Now, how do I know whether they are my connections or not? Because I had created my own connections. Are you getting me? So because I want to show more and more of my content to executive directors, because I'm a coach, I run a 6 months one-to-one training program and a coaching program with them. So I want to market my content subtly. At the same time, I want to add value to them more than anyone else. So you got to figure out who your target audience is, and you got to keep checking whether your content is reaching out to your target audience or not. Now, let me tell you some interesting facts about content. Content is always to be made for target audience, but it is to be made in the language of a layman. Irrespective of social media platform you are on, if you do not speak the language of layman, your target audience may not be able to benefit from it, because it is ultimately the impression or the reputation or the branding game. The more people see, let's say, why more people are following Harjeet Khanduja or Nathan Esri, because they see, wow, yeah, 2,000 likes. When I post something, I get only 3 likes. That means this person has got some relevance. Then they also see 300 comments. Then they see what other people have seen. Then they see some vice president has written the comment on his post. He must be influencer, right? So I also need to follow him. So this is how you decide. But if you look at all those influencers, they always share that we share or we distribute the content in the language of layman. Why Harjeet Khanduja is writing those story format, 10-liner stories? Raj said this, Simran said this. Come on. Because common man should be able to relate to his content. As a result, the target audience, the exclusive CEOs or CXOs are taken care of. They know what Harjeet Khanduja is doing. So this is important when you start creating content, be it your graphic format content or infographic. Imagine that you are creating content for your target audience, but will common man or layman be able to understand your content or not? If yes, then bingo, you are creating your personal brand gradually. All right, so Bharat Naran says post articles and documents are the key for our content shared on LinkedIn. Also, do you have preference for one of the other? Yeah, so LinkedIn at one point of time was favoring videos. I'm on LinkedIn Live, so LinkedIn Live is now catching up. Most of the brands are also using LinkedIn Live, like CNBC gives you a free time slot. So people or companies have started using LinkedIn Live as free, time slot. Can you believe if you get connected to, let's say, 100 CEOs? I'm not asking to connect to more CEOs. Directly, you have access to 100 CEOs. And when you start doing some post, write post or do LinkedIn Live, you're reaching directly to them. You can reach. Whereas you shell out huge money on CNBC, CNN, etc. to feature your show there, here companies are doing it for free on LinkedIn. So whenever I come live, like just today at 2 o'clock, I'm coming live with one of the global leaders of Ernst & Young. And LinkedIn will show it to, maybe if I have 30,000 connections, it might show it to 5,000 connections. Divya Shlokam is live. Bingo. Free of cost. My content is reaching to them. My branding is going there. My marketing is done by LinkedIn. All for free. I hope it is making sense that why you need to focus on content. Now let's shift our gears to content marketing. All right. Yeah. Any questions so far? I would love to know how is the training going. If you can unmute yourself and share how you finding the session.
It is interesting. There are a couple of more questions. One from Arjun, and he says that sometimes we receive requests from unknown people. Then how do you decide whom to connect?
Wow, interesting. Interesting. Now let me quickly share this because you have shared this question. I didn't notice this question. For example, I go in my network and I check it here and I say Swati, right? Magnani. She's from Ernst & Young. So let me see. She has sent me the connection request. If you can mute yourself for some time, that will be great. So then I'll go and I'll read her profile. I'll see if she's a genuine person or not. How to identify someone is fake or genuine? In all likelihood, genuine people will have created their profile to a good extent. Then in all likelihood, they will have commented or liked someone's post, right? So in all likelihood, they'll have at least 100, 200 connections, because fake people usually have 6, 7, 10, 20, 40 connections, and just they write heading here and just a little bit here and there, and that's it. They have not completed to some extent their own profile. So this looks like a genuine profile, and if I find that Swati will be able to add value to me and I'll be able to add value to her, I can communicate with Swati. Whose target audience? Target audience is whom do you want to communicate with? Influence them, right? So if I find, yeah, Swati would be able to comment or engage on my post, she'll be able to benefit from my insights. Why not? I'll accept it. So this is the biggest mistake people do. They are very selective in accepting the connection request. It's something like LinkedIn is giving you a huge plush bungalow along with gardens and everything, and you decide to remain just in kitchen. You say, no, this much limited space, I'm okay. I'm not trying to explore other bedrooms or other, big rooms. So explore. If you don't find them, okay, you can always block them or disconnect, unconnect with them, right? This is my personal thinking. Again, you might have your own way of looking at it. Yash, Alok, any other question you have?
I think there's one more question, Divya, from
Yeah, sure.
actually somebody who said like about videos. Do videos work on LinkedIn? Shikha
Yeah.
mentioned that. Yeah.
All right. So videos do work. There was at one point of time, videos were working heavily on LinkedIn, but however, outreach of video is little reduced. I've also seen you don't bother about outreach. If you start creating videos, because you have to know not many people in the world are video friendly people. Not everyone, even top CEOs I speak to, and they say, Divya, videos, no, we shiver. I can't create videos. I can just write content, right? So there, your competitiveness will be shown. If you're willing to create videos, and not your first video will come on LinkedIn, I bet you. Because in first video, you'll be like, okay, let me create another one, another one. When I started making my videos and started posting them on YouTube, I created 50 videos that I never posted on YouTube. Forget about LinkedIn. They're still lying, rough videos. That's how you prepare. Make 1 or 2 minutes videos. Ankur Variku, I don't know whether you know or not. Ankur Variku is very famous video person. He used to create 1 minute video consistently every single day. He's got 8 lakh people following him on LinkedIn today. So if you're a video person, why not? Video is very distinguishing feature of your personal branding. You must go ahead. Wow, it's already 11:07 and we haven't yet started personal branding. All right. Yeah, let's move ahead. Shagun, can you share the presentation?
Yeah, Divya, I am.
All right. And if you guys wish, we can extend the session for 5, 7, 10 minutes. That's okay with us. But if you wish to leave, that's your choice. All right. So let's quickly understand. We've understood a lot about content. So I'm going to rush through now. Content Marketing Institute defines content marketing as a strategic marketing approach. So it needs strategy, it needs planning, focused on creating and distributing valuable content. So you are first creating valuable content, either in form of video, audio or graphic or written format, and valuable. It should add value to people. Then relevant. It should be relevant to your widely accepted audience, and consistent. It's not that you make one video today and after 1 month you're doing. It has to be consistent. There was one point of time when people used to say, if you're a weekly content creator, you are consistent on LinkedIn. Today, during the COVID, LinkedIn say nothing doing. Consistent video content creators are like, it is established that you have to create content every day. And there are easy ways of creating content every day. You just have to create content bank or content library. All right. So content to attract, retain a clearly defined audience. So if you can clearly define who my target audience will be, with whom will I love to communicate? With whom will I create my influence? With whom will I create my impressions? This is your clearly defined target audience, and ultimately to derive profitable customer action. Now, this may not be relevant in your case. As of now, you may not be in some business. However, still to derive some action, right? So their definition is solid in Neil Patel. So I have picked up from the internet. This is not my definition. Neil Patel says, but something else can be added to content marketing to understand it better. It means that content marketing is a long-term strategy. So if you start today, it's not that just to build your personal brand, within 1 month, you'll be able to do it. It is a long-term strategy. You think, okay, I'll start with content curation first. रोज नहीं बनाया जाता content मुझसे. That's perfectly fine if I'm not able to create it every single day. But on weekends, let me figure out all those inspiring videos, photos, images, etc. Put in place, write my 2-liners on that, and start sharing with my community. Then once you're habitual, maybe 15 days, 20 days, 1 month, then you will feel inspired to create your own content. Today, Shagun shares in the morning content of Leverage LinkedIn, that community, and in the evening, he creates his own content and shares it. So it means it is a long-term strategy that focuses on building a strong relationship with your target audience by giving them high quality content that is very relevant to them on a consistent basis. Now tell me, who are the people who are liking Shubhangi Salvi, that girl I shared with you? She is like content projection person. She's just projecting someone else's content. Who are the people who are going to like her content? Generic people, layman people, you can say, right? Anyone who feels like inspired. So you have to create very specific to your target audience. All right. So eventually when customers make a purchase decision, now this is very important. This is what I wanted to highlight. Eventually when customers make a purchase decision, their loyalty already lies with you. They will purchase your product and prefer it over competitor. Now let me share the most important takeaway from today's session. I come back to Harjeet Khanduja. He's a corporate professional. Can you believe it? He's a corporate professional. For almost last 1 year, he's been posting that 10-liner content. What he has done recently now is he has created a book called Nothing, Everything About Business, a book by Harjeet Khanduja. He's not a business person, but now he already has a loyal follower base for his book. Plus, he has also posted, what big people are saying about his book. This is called content marketing. He's taking 100% advantage of his personal brand that's established now, and he is using content marketing effectively. This is what your journey would look like after a year or two. He was also a newbie. He has studied from government school. He has studied from Hindi medium school. So, I mean, if you can imagine that the way he has climbed up the ladder of content creation to content marketing now, and he's already a established personal brand. So you never know, in future you might think of creating your own coaching session, your own creative academy, your own book writing, your own video series. I have no clue. But you have to start today. Does it make sense? If it makes sense, please write MS in chat section. Makes sense. Yeah, Shagun, if you can share your slides once again.
Sure.
All right. I love you all. You are writing MS. Makes sense. Thank you so much. Yeah, so next slide. So yeah, we can read, in contrast to one-off advertising, content marketing is consistent. Harjeet Khanduja's example I've already shared with you. This is how subtly people create, like initially he wasn't clear, he'll be writing a book or that, but he kept on creating his personal brand through his value adding high quality content consistently. If you're distributing that content consistently, you're a content marketeer, right? All right. So what is personal branding now? I hope that's clear. Should we proceed ahead? If yes, please write why, only then I'll proceed ahead. All right. So I've got yes. All right. What is personal branding? Personal branding is, no, I want to go back, Shagun.
Yep, yeah, I'm back now.
Okay. So now listen very carefully, right? This will leave for the time being. Stop sharing. Where is that? Can you stop sharing the screen?
Yep, sure.
Because this becomes. Now, I told you the definition of content, right? I told you the definition of content marketing. Now, what is personal branding finally? Personal branding, when we say branding, I learned branding from Wikipedia. I didn't pick up any other book. So when I read the definition of branding in Wikipedia, Wikipedia said brand is equal to identity from a layman's perspective. And I said, all right, okay. So brand is equal to identity. So what is personal brand then? Personal brand is personal identity. Personal identity where? With whom? Amongst whom? Amongst your counterparts. So let's say if you're a graphic designer, so your personal brand will be created amongst those graphic designers. Harjeet Khanduja's personal brand is created as top industry HR leader, right? So your brand or your identity has to be amongst some people. So amongst your counterpart, now you decide we have 5,50,000 BSc registered companies in India. So let's say if you are the creative head of your organization, at least 5,50,000 such people will be existing in India alone, right? 500,000 people will be existing in India alone. So that is where personal branding becomes so important today. Whether you want to get a job, whether you want to build network, whether you want to expand your influence globally, whether you want to have future business, personal brand is a topmost priority. So personal branding definition is establishing your identity or creating your identity and positioning it in such a way amongst your counterparts that people get attracted towards you than the counterparts. People get attracted towards you, your physical persona, your behavioral persona, and your ethical persona. Long definition, but step by step we are understanding. Personal branding is creating your identity and positioning it amongst your counterparts in such a way that people get attracted towards your physical, behavioral, and ethical persona. They start following you. That's it. That's the simplest definition I've ever come across. Now let's explore what is it. So we have understood that we have some counterparts. We have also counted some counterparts, measured, right? We are going to create a unique identity of ourselves and reposition or position ourselves amongst them. This is very clear. Now, what is physical persona? You know, just a couple of days back, I was sitting with one of the top MNC's managing director sales, and he was not able to recognize me because I had tied my hair, no lipstick, nothing. So he said, no, you are a fluffy hair girl. I can't recognize you. So your physical persona is so important in consistent branding. People recall how you look like. It's not important to look very attractive, but hygienically good looking. Narayan Murthy, Ratan Tata, all look dashing in their simplistic looks, right? So this is your physical persona. People will recognize your gait, your way of talking, your how you look, etc., what you wear, etc., right? You can't avoid this. Now next is behavioral persona. How you perceive the thoughts you perceive, how you project those thoughts to the outer world, how you communicate, what's your non-verbal communication way, everything people are going to observe about your behavior, your mental persona. Final thing, which is the most subtle, we don't recognize, and the most important on personal branding is your ethical persona. For example, just today morning, I gave some slides to Shagun, and Shagun said, I am a person who prepares well in advance, Divya, and on the contrast, I'm a person who's like last minute preparations are also acceptable. This is my persona, right? However, that's acceptable. But I'm also a person of my words. If I've said, Shagun, that yeah, I'll deliver it by this time, I would try my level. This is ethical persona. This is what people most observe in personal brands. How do you stick to your value system? So what I want you to now do is, I want you to think of one core value that you have always struck for, come what may, that has helped you sail so far in your life. Could you please write one strong value that has helped you struck so far, that has helped you sail so far? This could be honesty, integrity, whatever, truthfulness, that one simple. And you survive by that, you breathe that in your personality. Creativity, wonderful, exceptionally good. Yeah, think of any one such quality, even if it is not value. Quality that you have never compromised on, come what may. Come what may. This is what you have struck so far. Yeah, great. Now, let me tell you one formula, structured thought. Very nice, Cecilia. Yeah, so Bharat, empathy. Now I want to give you one strong tip on how to instantly create your personal brand with anyone. How to create that identity, unique identity with anyone is always project your value system. For example, my value system is hand holding. So if someone comes to me with a demand that I want to learn something or I need help, I completely handhold them. Come what may, I wouldn't leave them. unless they have, reached at a particular stage. For example, today you are here in this training session. I'm ensuring, I'm forgetting about my business, I'm forgetting about everything, I'm just ensuring. And this is what I have always sustained so far, sailed through so far. So now that one particular tip of sharing your personal brand with the people is always project that value system to everyone in all these situations and speak about it. Character, now important thing, quote unquote, character is what I make, what you make of yourself, right? I can't change your character, you can't change my character. Reputation is what others make about me. Today you are going to build some reputation about me, I'm going to build some reputation about you. You can't change that, right? Because it's already built in my mind about you. So is the case with me. So character is what we make, reputation is what others make, brand is in between. Why? Because you can first create your own identity, then project it to the entire world, then let them know consistently, strategically, that this is what I stand for, this is who I am, this is what I should be known for, this is how I should be seen. That's the flexibility personal branding gives you. Mind blowing, isn't it? Right? So character, no one can do anything about character. Each one of us has. Reputation, someone else is building for us. Brand, we can. We have all the control to create our own personal brand. So now the final result of personal branding is you first think what should be important in your physical persona. That should be always highlighted. People should recognize you with such physical form, persona. For example, people say your fluffy hair and your big broad smile is your personal branding statement physically, right? You decide yours. Then you create your behavioral persona that I will exhibit this kind of behavior consistently, irrespective whether in personal situations or professionals. Then you finally decide upon one strong value that you have struck so far, go out to the world, project it to the world, let them know that this is your strong personal value. Show it in your behavior, right? This is what personal branding is. All right, Shagun, can you show this slide? If you have some questions and queries and details or feedback, quickly share with us. Is it okay if we take 10 minutes more extra time with you? Because I want to cover some Q&As as well. All right. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please take 20 more. Thank you, Shivam. God bless you. All right. So now let's understand what is personal branding. We have understood who personal brand is, right? Personal branding is the practice of marketing people and their career as brands. So ultimately, we are using the tools of content marketing to project our personal brand onto the people, to create our own unique identities and attract people, right? It is an ongoing process of maintaining a reputation and impression of an individual, right? So when we say of personal branding, it is an ongoing process, and what it is doing, it is maintaining our reputation and impression, group or organization. Whereas some self-help practices focus on self-improvement, personal branding, deadlines, success as form of self-packaging, digital marketing.org. Fine. I just wanted to highlight initial 2-3 lines. Right. Shall we proceed ahead? Shagun, do we have any other slide to show?
I believe, yeah, from slide perspective, Vivek, I think we are good. Now maybe we can take 1 or 2 questions, because I was seeing there was one more question from somebody.
Sure.
There's one question from Sudipta right now. Could you please walk us through curation and projection again? I think around projection only there was one more question, whether if we are projecting, is there any copyright issues? So far you're giving the credit to the people. I don't think so there is any issue. But if you project, go ahead.
Important, Shagun. Thank you so much. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to address this question. So projecting is a risky affair. So far, LinkedIn was not that strict. Just 3-4 days back, LinkedIn has come out with new guidelines. If you are not following the copyright of others, then your identity and your account would be at stake. So LinkedIn so far was not that strict. What I propose in order to do that smartly is people are doing like they are projecting someone else's content and they are giving them the credit. So they are writing where from they picked it up, right? Or whose content is. For example, if I pick up Shane Moritz, content, then I'll write everything, but then I'll down below write Shanae More. If I write Gary Vaynerchuk, then I'll write Gary Vaynerchuk writes this. What's your opinion on this, right? So this way I've simply copy pasted smartly his content. I've expressed my view in that this is what I read. Then I've asked a question. That's the simplest form of content you can create, right? So similarly, at one point of time, I can't take you through all my posts. You are free to go through all my 1 month, 2 month old posts. You go and check how Divya is creating content smartly. I am deliberately doing it for my followers so that they can learn it, right? So one point of time, I picked up someone's quote, someone popular, let's say Oprah Winfrey's quote. And then I wrote, da, 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 da. Then finally I wrote, this is what Oprah says. My perspective is slightly different. What's yours? That's it. And tons of engagements. So if someday it's about consistency first, you just decide I have to be consistent, convert me. Then you will start finding where is the content, what kind of content. Then you'll figure out there is tons of content I can curate. This is the journey everyone passes through. Or you take a rather systematic approach. You create content calendar, content bank, content library. And you decide through content scheduling that morning, this one I'll share, then afternoon, then evening, and all that. All right, another question?
So how to kindle and wake up those individuals who disappear after connecting and never engage even on posts or directly? Any suggestions there?
All right. So this happens in our relationships also, in our day-to-day things also. No, some friends disappear, some relatives disappear. So and this is social media, unknown people. So let them be on their own. You initiate about networking. Networking we couldn't cover today because we didn't have the time. So I suggest and I request Alok if he could arrange another session on detailed networking as to how to do it for the creative people. We would be glad to help. So you got to decide what is your strategy. And there will be people who will be even networking with you initially and they'll elope like anything. They'll never even respond back after that. And it's all right. So you have to take a proportion. Out of every 100 connections, finally I'll talk to 1. I'll reach out to 10 out of 100 connections, reach out to 10, finally I'll talk to 1. So that's it. So some more questions or should I continue? I have little bit portion left for personal branding and, conjoining personal branding with the content marketing so that you take away complete, learning today. Should I continue, Alok, Shagun?
Yeah, let's continue and finish the content so that we can come back to the questions.
Sure.
If that is okay.
Yeah, yep. Perfectly fine. Yeah. So now how do you start your journey of personal branding, especially on LinkedIn using the content marketing? I'm going to share with you some quick case studies. So you just go find good influencers world over through Google search. Who are the top influencers? Let's say you are into graphic design, right? So who are the top graphic design influencers on various social media platforms, irrespective of whether they are on LinkedIn or not? Just start looking at their content, how they are marketing their content. And there's nothing bad in marketing term. We are all marketeers, right? How they are projecting their content on different social media platforms, how they are actually moving towards their personal branding journey, making them encash on that personal branding. So subtly, Harjeet Khanduja has started encashing on his personal branding journey, and which is all right, very well acceptable. He has written a good book, right? Now, let me share with you some more examples. This is Sandeep Kochar. He's also one of my favorite. What he has done was, like, he's been consistent on LinkedIn over the years, 3-4 years, right? So he's the top voices of LinkedIn and he's got already, I think, 5 lakh people following him. What he does is, he used to write a story. Simply, he's a story writer. He used to write a story every single day. Story related to jobs, story related to business, story related to startups, anything. He'll write a story related to that and he'll inspire people. Tons of people are, engaging with him. Now, recently what he has done, just about 6 months back, he has started delivering coaching sessions, started doing, training, started doing a lot of stuff. Right? So he has encashed his audience for it. He already has a ready-made audience base. This is why I talk practical. It's important to have good number of connections and gradually build your audience. he has created superb influence through his personal brand. He has projected himself to be a failure. Storyteller, I am a failure ant that never gives up. Hats off to you. And then he has also projected that he has got 3 times or 4 times clinical depression. So this binds people, they start resonating with him that he is more or less like us. He is no extraordinary being. And then through his story, he inspires. This is what I wanted to share with you. This is how people are creating their personal brand day in, day out. And later on, they encash that personal brand. And there's no harm in doing that. And he is sheer example of content marketing. Each of his content, you notice all his stories, whether it is about one customer came to me, he was jobless, I got him job, because he's already running a company that gives the recruitments to people, right? So he has collaborated with other people. It's not entirely his business. He has collaborated with tons of people. Now he's offering this also, that also, that also. But initially, you don't have to think of business. Business will come to you automatically. You just keep on building your identity, unique identity. Attract people, build your brand. It will get built up if you're adding value. He hasn't forgotten to give his value till date. And he's the top performing his posts are like most viewed post on LinkedIn in India, right? So this is what. All right, so I thought I should connect the dots now. Finally, once you start taking the support of content, once you become a content marketer, start thinking like a content marketer, you'll start building your personal brand. Once you're very clear about your personal brand, you'll again create content. Once you create content, you give value. Once you give value, you are ready for your next move. Thank you so much, everyone. So now on to you all.
I believe there is one more question, Divya. This is about our mission. So they are talking about that the mission is really great, but is it your personal brand?
All right, interesting. So let me quickly share with you about a very quick story around this mission. About 12 crore people in India had lost jobs during the pandemics, and out of that 12 crore, 2.1 crore were from like formal sector, like blue collar and white collar jobs were lost. So a lot of people started approaching me. Divya, you've been in cashing on LinkedIn quite a lot. You've been on LinkedIn. Why don't you help us? Why don't you teach us how to encash on LinkedIn? Now we have lost jobs. So 100, 200, I can't remember the messages that I got, That was the time when I was sitting in silence. I realized, I think I have taken inbound growth. I've pulled growth. I've pulled all my business from LinkedIn, So I need to reach out to people and help people. Initially, I was reluctant. Frankly, I was reluctant. मुझे लगा मैंने कोई ठेका नहीं लिया सबकी हेल्प करने का. But that inner calling kept coming in the silent times, And then I decided enough is enough. I already have 3 product lines. If 2 are extremely profitable, and if this another extremely profitable, product line, if I make it free for everyone, I'm not going to lose my business, right? People have already lost jobs. This is how I decided that, okay, if 1% of LinkedIn's population, at that time it was 675 million, 1% of LinkedIn's population, if I can touch their lives, impact them by helping them understand how LinkedIn works strategically, they may be able to get those opportunities back in their lives. This is how I initiated, but people like Shagun and other people who started attending initial training programs, they reached out to me and they said, Divya, we want to contribute in this mission. This is not a small mission and you won't be able to achieve it alone. So let us support you in that. Let us volunteer. Let us know what can be done about this. And that's how we created a mission called Leverage LinkedIn. It's formal name, Leverage LinkedIn. We have tons of volunteers with us. We have already reached out to 12 countries, impacted 15,000 lives since May 2020. So we are spearheaded to go to now 200 plus countries. If you wish to be a volunteer with us, you're most welcome. We have global volunteers across different countries who are supporting in this mission. They post on their timelines the awareness about LinkedIn, how to use LinkedIn. So they create the post, they create the awareness. So we give them the ready-made post and they also create their own post around it. This is how this mission helps so many people.
Sorry, this question scrolled. How much does timing has effect on post reach?
Yeah, Yeah, it does have effect. Frankly speaking, you can't deny the fact, despite the fact that 24 hours a day people are on LinkedIn, especially in India nowadays. But if you notice his timing, he posts in the morning around 8:30 or so. And now what he has started doing is, he was initially of the opinion, when I spoke to him personally, I said I post 3 to 4 times a day. I post 3 to 4 times a day, because not necessary, let's say if I'm getting 4,000 views, all those 4,000 will be back in the evening. They may not be on their devices. So then it's not after listening to me, like he decided in his content marketing strategy that he'll also now start posting evening as well. So that's how he's recently, maybe about a month back, he has started posting morning and evening, the same time slots, almost the same time slots. Let me tell you, Sandeep, because we are all creative people. Creativity comes early in the morning or late in the nights mostly. So Sandeep gets up at 3 o'clock. I get up at 3 o'clock mostly, and we create our own content during that time mostly. Or we do the best thing about our businesses or about our content or things only in the early mornings. That's when you're peaceful and you get that enough creativity. So that's what his strategy is. Yeah, he uses time slots and he uses it effectively. If you use the effective timings, that is going to help you. However, initially it doesn't really matter. Please don't fall prey to number of likes or number of comments. Even if 2 likes come, it's okay. You just keep expressing, just keep fine tuning your content. Yeah. Shivani says, thank you, Divya, Shagun, good knowledge. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, hello.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I don't
Shagun.
see any other questions. It seems we are good at the moment. Now, here are a few things that I would like to remind the community. I'm sure there would be more questions in your mind. You may want to explore what Divya and Shagun are trying to achieve. So follow them on the LinkedIn, and if anyone is interested to join their mission, feel free to do so. Now, beyond that, if the community is interested to know more about people who are attending the creative morning session for the first time, I would encourage you to join the Facebook page, because that's where we will be posting the contents regularly going forward as well. And there will be more interesting talks, workshops like this. Uh, Divya has already suggested one more for networking. Let's connect Divya and Shagun offline to kind of figure out what is the best way to go about it. So wonderful, wonderful way to start the Saturday. I could not have asked for more. Thank you once again, Divya and Shagun, for your valuable time. This is very much helpful. And looking at the questions, I'm glad that it really helped. Also, thank you, Samat and Saikat, for kind of doing all the behind the curtain work.
And
Thank you.
thank you, Alok, for leading us from the
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Divya,
Awesome.
Alok, Shagun. Great job, guys. Keep it up.
Thanks, Bharat.
Awesome. Thank you. You all have a wonderful day, and we will send out the follow-up email with some. Maybe it is all right for you, Shagun and Divya, to share the content, right, so that people can go through it offline.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
Okay,
We
we
will.
will send out follow-up email.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Have
so
a
much,
nice day.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
You all.